group stage is almost over, and the round of 32 race is now getting serious. Some teams are already safely through, some teams are waiting for their final group match, and some teams are still hoping to survive as one of the best third-place teams. With the new 48-team World Cup format, the top 2 teams from each group move into the round of 32, along with 8 of the best third-place teams. That means the knockout stage is not only about finishing first or second anymore. A team can finish third, still qualify, and suddenly become dangerous in the next round. That is why every goal, every point, and every goal difference number matters. Starting with Group A, Mexico has been one of the strongest teams in the tournament so far. Mexico finished first with 9 points, winning all 3 matches, scoring 6 goals and conceding 0. That is a perfect group stage performance. South Africa finished second with 4 points after a huge final result against South Korea, while South Korea finished third with 3 points, and Czechia ended fourth with 1 point. In the round of 32, South Africa is already scheduled to face Canada on June 28, while Mexico is waiting for its opponent from the third-place qualification picture. In Group B, Switzerland finished top with 7 points after beating Canada in the final group match. Canada finished second with 4 points, and Bosnia and Herzegovina also finished with 4 points in third place. Qatar finished fourth with 1 point. Canada's next match is already confirmed, and it will face South Africa on June 28. Switzerland is also through, and scheduled for a round of 32 match on July 2. Bosnia and Herzegovina is one of the major third-place stories because it is currently listed against the United States in the round of 32 on July 1. Group C is complete, and both Brazil and Morocco finished very strong. Brazil topped the group with 7 points and a strong goal difference, while Morocco also finished with 7 points. Scotland finished third with 3 points, and Haiti finished fourth with 0. Brazil is now scheduled to face Japan on June 29 in one of the most exciting early knockout matchups. Morocco will face the Netherlands, also on June 29. Brazil vs Japan and Netherlands vs Morocco are already must-watch round of 32 games, because both matchups have speed, technical quality and upset potential. In Group D, the United States finished first with 6 points, even after losing its final group match to Turkey. Australia finished second with 4 points after a tense 0-0 draw with Paraguay. Paraguay also finished with 4 points in third place, while Turkey ended with 3 points. The USA is through as the group winner and is scheduled to face Bosnia and Herzegovina on July 1. Australia is also through and will face Egypt on July 3. Paraguay remains part of the third-place qualification conversation, showing how close and dramatic this group became by the final whistle. Group E is also complete, and Germany finished first with 6 points, despite losing its final group match to Ecuador. Ivory Coast also finished with 6 points and took second place after beating Curaçao. Ecuador finished third with 4 points, while Curaçao finished fourth with 1. Germany is scheduled to face Paraguay on June 29 in the round of 32, while Ivory Coast will play Norway on June 30. Ecuador's 4 points keep it important in the third-place qualification race. This group is a perfect example of why the new format is so dramatic. Even a third-place team can still be alive and dangerous. In Group F, the Netherlands finished first with 7 points. Japan finished second with 5 points. Sweden finished third with 4 points. And Tunisia finished fourth with 0. The Netherlands look powerful going forward, Japan stayed unbeaten, and Sweden did enough to stay in the knockout conversation as one of the stronger third-place teams. The round of 32 matchups from this group are already exciting. Japan will face Brazil on June 29, while the Netherlands will face Morocco later the same day. Those 2 matches could easily become some of the best games of the first knockout round. Group G has now produced major drama. Belgium defeated New Zealand 5-1 and moved to the top of the group, while Egypt drew 1-1 with Iran and also advanced. New Zealand finished bottom, while Iran now has to wait on the third-place race. Belgium's big win changed the whole look of the group because goal difference became extremely important. Belgium is now scheduled for a round of 32 match on July 1, while Egypt will face Australia on July 3. This group showed exactly how quickly one final match day can change everything. Group H also delivered a major story. Spain beat Uruguay 1-0 and finished top of the group with 7 points. Cape Verde drew 0-0 with Saudi Arabia and finished second, making history by reaching the round of 32. Uruguay and Saudi Arabia were eliminated. Cape Verde's qualification is one of the best underdog stories of the tournament. Spain is scheduled to play on July 2, while Cape Verde will face Argentina on July 3rd. That Argentina versus Cape Verde matchup will be a huge storyline because it brings together one of the giants of world football and one of the tournament's most inspiring surprise teams. Group I gave us one of the biggest final day statements. France beat Norway 4-1 and finished first in the group. Norway finished second and still moved into the round of 32. Senegal beat Iraq 5-0, but it was not enough to overtake the top two. France will now face Sweden on June 30th, while Norway will face Ivory Coast earlier that same day. France looks dangerous, and Norway still has the firepower to cause problems in the knockout stage. Group I started as a battle between two perfect teams, but France made a clear statement in the final match. Now we still have Groups J, K and L to complete. In Group J, Argentina leads with 6 points and is already in a very strong position. Austria and Algeria both have 3 points, while Jordan has 0. The final matches are Jordan versus Argentina and Algeria versus Austria on June 27th. Argentina is already scheduled in the round of 32 picture, but the second-place race between Austria and Algeria is the real drama. Whoever wins that battle could move directly into the knockout stage, while the other may have to depend on the third-place table. Group K is led by Colombia with 6 points, while Portugal is second with 4 points. DR Congo has 1 point, and Uzbekistan has 0. Colombia faces Portugal on June 27th in a direct top-of-the-table clash, while DR Congo faces Uzbekistan. Colombia and Portugal are both in strong positions, but the group winner has not been fully decided. If Portugal beats Colombia, the top spot could change. If Colombia gets the result, it finishes in control. DR Congo still needs a win, and help from other results to stay alive. Finally, Group L is still very dangerous. England and Ghana both have 4 points, Croatia has 3 points and Panama has 0. The final matches are Panama versus England and Croatia versus Ghana on June 27th. England and Ghana are ahead, but Croatia is close enough to create real pressure. If Croatia beats Ghana, the table can change dramatically. England also cannot relax because a final group match always carries pressure, even against a team at the bottom. Group L could still produce one of the most dramatic finishes of the entire group stage. So what is the round of 32 picture right now? South Africa will face Canada on June 28th. Brazil will face Japan on June 29th. Germany will face Paraguay on June 29th. The Netherlands will face Morocco on June 29th. Ivory Coast will face Norway on June 30th. France will face Sweden on June 30th. Mexico is scheduled to play on June 30th against a third-place qualifier still to be finalized. On July 1st, the United States will face Bosnia and Herzegovina, and Belgium will also play a third-place qualifier. On July 2nd, Spain and Switzerland are scheduled for their knockout matches. On July 3rd, Australia will face Egypt, and Argentina will face Cape Verde. The biggest story is simple. The World Cup is now shifting from group stage survival to knockout stage pressure. Some teams have looked dominant, some teams have scraped through. Some teams are still waiting for other results. But once the round of 32 begins, none of that matters. One bad night, and a favorite can go home. One perfect performance, and an underdog can become a legend. The group stage gave us drama, surprises and heartbreak. Now the knockout stage is ready to take it to another level.